I am Fernando Alonso. Fernando Alonso.
Fernando Alonso has been hard to miss this season, from challenging the top 3 teams despite being the oldest driver on the track, to rumours that he's dating Taylor Swift. But that's the last of the speculation, straight to the facts. Did you know he recently joined a select group of only 6 racers with 100 podiums, and has the record for the most starts in the history of the sport? There's loads more where that came from. We're jumping on the Alonso Mania train, so stay tuned as we reveal 10 things you probably didn't know about Fernando Alonso. Like how he ended up in hospital, needing reconstructive jaw surgery, but more on that later. He only got into karting because his older sister wasn't interested. Alonso was born on the 29th of July 1981 to a working-class family in Oviedo, Asturias, northern Spain. He's the son of the mineshaft explosive factory mechanic and amateur kart driver Jose Luis Alonso, and department store employee Ana Diaz. He has an elder sister, Lorena, who is a doctor. Alonso's father wanted a hobby to share with his children and built a go-kart for Lorena. She was uninterested in karting, and a 3-year-old Alonso received the kart. The rest is history. The Cars franchise is likely the most renowned racing movie series to emerge from Hollywood. Nevertheless, devoted Formula One enthusiasts could have overlooked appearances by legendary motorsport figures such as Lewis Hamilton, Michael Schumacher, Sebastian Vettel, and Fernando Alonso. They don't have major roles in the movies, but their appearances in the film do make it a fun surprise for Formula One fans. Fernando made a voice cameo appearance as an anthropomorphic version of himself in the Spanish dub of Cars 2.
Hola Rayo, ¿has visto qué montaje?
He's a race car that Lightning McQueen meets at the World Grand Prix welcome party. His paint job is a reference to Alonso's helmet. He followed this movie up by lending his voice again as a voice command assistant in the Spanish dub of Cars 3.
Oh, ¿y Fernando Alonso?
Aquí Fernando.
¿Quién es Fernando?
When it comes to fashion, all heads turn to Alonso's former teammate Hamilton. But did you know that the Matador is also a fashion retailer? Spanish clothing and accessories retailer, Kimoa was founded by Alonso. The brand targets young and middle-aged adults, with Kimoa serving 150 countries across the world via their e-store, with at least one physical store located in Spain. Kimoa became an official partner of McLaren F1 team for the 2018 Formula One season. Kimoa's branding was featured on the team's MCL33 car, driver suits and helmets. It was also displayed on Alonso's personal team kit and driver cap. The Kimoa logo was also seen on Alonso's race apparels in his post-McLaren race events. The juiciest detail about this fact is, his clothing retail led to his breakup with his then-girlfriend. After difficulties with the company, Alonso chose to sell it, much to the dismay of his co-founder and girlfriend Linda Morselli. Further differences between the couple grew over time, and eventually in late 2021, the couple separated after 5 years together. Okay, this next one could count as 2 on its own, but there's just so much about the Spaniard that we had to combine them. If the F1 thing doesn't work out, El Nano has 2 other sports to fall back on. Fernando Alonso is a cycling enthusiast. In 2021, he was hit by a car and needed reconstructive jaw surgery, requiring 2 titanium plates embedded in his jaw for the remainder of the season. His manager at the time, Flavio Briatore, threatened to lock him in a garage if he didn't stop cycling. Alonso's interests extended beyond cycling and into other sports, such as football, where he is a devoted fan of Los Blancos. In 2017, he showed his immense love for the team by becoming an honorary member, and his induction was officially announced with a special presentation at the Santiago Bernabeu, similar to how new signings are unveiled. He even participated in the traditional photo opportunity, holding up a club shirt alongside club president Florentino Perez. Real Madrid chose me to be, like millions of people, a fan of this great club. Alonso is affected by Poland syndrome, a congenital anomaly that can make one side of your body look different than the other. Usually it affects the right size and can cause your chest muscle to not grow properly, as well as shorter and webbed fingers, and other differences like shorter ribs and breast abnormalities. But don't worry, it usually doesn't cause any major problems with your movement or health. It affected Alonso in Bahrain in 2016. After crashing in Melbourne and suffering from rib fractures, Alonso was unable to participate in the race due to his injury and concerns regarding how Poland syndrome would impact his recovery. As a result, he was sidelined for the event. In 2017, Fernando Alonso decided to skip the Monaco Grand Prix and attend the Indy 500 as a driver. He felt motivated to speed up on an amazing American oval track after spending a lot of time driving massive V8s the American way. And where better to do it than the legendary Indianapolis Speedway? Indy cars look like Formula One cars but are very different. In fact, the ovals require different driving skills than the road tracks. Despite this, rookie Alonso achieved an incredible feat by being first in the first qualifying session and eventually scoring the 4th position in the grid in the second qualifying.
These guys are so competitive. They want to win at everything, including qualification.
During the race, Alonso was in the lead for several laps, driving with excellent speed and skill. Although he couldn't hold on to it, his performance was remarkable and showcased the versatility of his driving skills and his bold style. Unfortunately, when he was in 7th position, the Honda engine of his McLaren failed. There were both positive and negative comments about his performance in the Indy 500, but overall, it was a remarkable display of Alonso's driving talent. Alonso's ambition is to achieve the Triple Crown of motorsport by winning the 500, which would add to his previous victories in the 2 Monaco Grand Prix races and 2 Le Mans 24-hour events. The Spanish driver, actually the only other Spanish driver to win a GP, but that's just a fun fact, is a UNICEF ambassador. UNICEF's regional and national ambassadors are highly visible representatives of the organization. These ambassadors, who are distinguished figures from various fields such as art, music, film, sports, and others, play a vital role in drawing attention to the issues children encounter worldwide. In 2005, the UNICEF Spanish Committee appointed Fernando Alonso as their Goodwill Ambassador, with the objective of increasing awareness regarding children's rights. Later that same year, Alonso participated in the Beloved Child Project in Brazil, which was sponsored by UNICEF. During a polio eradication campaign in India in 2011, Alonso visited a hospital where he interacted with young children and even administered the oral polio vaccine to 5 patients. Polio is a terrible, crippling disease of children, which we can and should eradicate from the planet. He also distributed Diwali gifts to children in the hospital wards and to paraplegic sufferers. In 2017, Alonso contributed to UNICEF's efforts to combat cyberbullying, and in 2021, he became a part of the UNICEF #MLAX10X Syria team to assist children affected by the decade-long conflict in Syria. The 2-time world champion maintains that every child deserves the right to run, to play and to live a healthy life without polio, he said. Away from UNICEF, Alonso has continued his philanthropic efforts. In 2007, Alonso established the Fernando Alonso Foundation to promote road safety education and training and to support motor racing. Alonso has also participated in several charity football matches and auctioned off his racing memorabilia to generate funds, like the signed racing suits he donated to the Wings for Life research project in 2012. Speaking of kids, Alonso's upbringing in Spain, a predominantly Catholic country, and his attendance at Holy Guardian Angel Primary School suggests that he was raised in the Catholic faith. However, it seems he no longer identifies as a Catholic. In an interview where he was directly asked if he believes in God, he responded with a straightforward no. He's also spoken more extensively on the topic in another interview. "I don't have any relationship with God and I've never wanted it. I don't believe in fate or in any superior entity. If a plane crashes and people die, it's not because heaven said so. It's one thing fighting off G-forces, but Alonso once managed to compete a race with a raging fever. Following the 2003 Malaysian Grand Prix, Alonso revealed that he'd been struggling with flu during the race and was lucky to finish. I feel quite sick at the moment, Alonso said. At the start of the race, it, referring to his temperature, was 38.5, and now it's quite high. We bet you didn't know this next one. There's a Fernando Alonso Museum. Let's see if we can pronounce this correctly. The Museo y Circuito Fernando Alonso. The museum boasts an impressive exhibition space of 1,200 square meters and features over 350 one-of-a-kind items from Fernando Alonso's personal collection. These artifacts have been a part of the 2-time Formula One champion's journey in the world of motorsports. Visitors can expect to see the very first go-kart that he raced with as a child, as well as his most recent single-seater used in top-tier racing competitions. The museum is a must-see for car enthusiasts and anyone interested in Alonso's accomplishments in the sport. How many of these Alonso facts did you know? Did we leave any major ones out? Let us know in the comments.